Morning, everyone. Morning. Hope you're doing good. Hope you had a good afternoon session yesterday. Lots of volatility yesterday. Caught the move up with me in the morning, then the move back down, and then maybe some of you positioned for that move back up, which had happened very quick off Trump's news. What was the news? The news was that they're coming to a deal with Greenland, and there's no longer going to be tariffs. What a surprise! Just one huge, massive bluff from him again. Okay, so what do we have? Well, we filled the gap on the daily, right? We're going to start off in the daily as always. Gap filled on the daily. We can see that gap was filled right into here, into just under 700. All right, so it's worth watching that gap. If we're able to base above that gap, we do have some levels to drive for above. The one thing we need to be very, very, very aware of, which I've talked about numerous times, is we have an old range up here. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Okay, this is where we failed to find acceptance above it. We are still in this like big old wedge right now. All right, nothing's actually changed. We had the chance to break down, all right, and come and try and attack 900, but we caught a bid down here in this blue box like we talked about. Never was able to break this and roll. So we've gone back to range, filled the gap. So the question now is, do we go back inside this old box, right? If we consider this an old box, are we going to rotate back inside here, all right? Or are we just going to poke our head through and say, no, we don't want to go back in that value and come back down, all right? These are the two things that can happen today. This is what we're thinking about today. All right, so we need to be aware of that. Let's have a look on the hourly chart, get some more details on this. Okay, so you can see previous week's value. Make sure this is big enough for you guys to see. Let's move this up a bit. Okay, here's previous week value area low. We're currently trading around it right now. All right, so this level right here with this node right here, and we're very, very thin on this drive up, leaving current week's value. All right, so support really, really strong support isn't down until sort of 25,440-ish. All right, previous day value area high, previous day point of control, current week value. This is really strong support. This is an overnight, make sure this is overnight. Yeah, this is the overnight squeeze into previous week's value. If we hold bids here, all right, and we want to continue to squeeze, then this right here is what? It's a naked POC. All right, so if we can rotate, this will be target up towards the 900s. If this is a poke inside and an absolute failure, right, if we fail this node, which so far we're looking like we're getting stuck around these two nodes. If we fail here and fail to get acceptance back into previous week value, there is a trade back down to here. You can see this pivot here. Let's just move this out. There is a trade back down inside this range, possibly to come and back test some of this. And then we can see, do buyers want to step back in again, or is this a complete collapse again? So a couple ways to trade this. What don't I like? I don't like trading in here, unfortunately. Like, I'd be willing to place a buy here. If we show a lot of strength here and there's a squeeze up, I'll think about it. But I want to be very careful because we already know what happens in here. Chop, 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 and chop. Right? That's what happens in this box. We talked about it yesterday. Acceptance out of this box, then we're probably looking for a big old squeeze to all-time highs unless we get a failed break and a sort of reversion back down. But at the moment, it's starting to look like this might be the failed breakout side again, twice, like a Wyckoff, okay? This might be the spring, and now we need to see, do we find acceptance? So want to be careful for the rotation, all right? This is not a day where I want to be big risk on. If we move up to the 5-minute chart, we can just see how we've got here. All right, here was the Trump news. I think it was right here, 2 o'clock. Yeah, this is the Trump news, huge spike. We managed to base above the old pivot. All right, remember this was resistance. This blue box was resistance. It was red. It now becomes support. All right, we find bids off it into the close. Asia goes sideways. We hold that pivot. That strong pivot 450 gets held. Asia holds a pivot. London drives back upside. We're now at the 20-day on the mean reversion. That's the other thing we need to talk about. We're right back at the mean of the Bollingers. So maybe if we just talk about this a minute, we're right back at the mean. If we think about where the Bollingers are, right, failed to find acceptance underneath it. Top Bollinger here, mean here. So 50% move to here. 50% move to here, or 100% each side, however you want to think about that. All right, this is your range. All right, you've got room in the upside. We've already covered the downside. So we're right back to the mean. Okay, going into the lower time frame charts now. This right here is a node. This grey box is our gap. If you want to mark out any of these levels, I'll leave them here for you. But you can see this is the strong support right now. Sort of 520s down to 450s is a level of interest for me. If they are willing to hold bids down there, or even if they're willing to hold this previous week value and old gap, and then we're looking for that move to 900s. If we lose this, all right, if we lose this, there's probably a fill to here. If we lose that, there's another rotation down. We'll have to be willing to play both sides at the moment. It's just the market conditions we're in. It's the market conditions we're in. All right, let's have a look at the ES and the ETFs, which are going to look very, very similar. Same story here on the ES. If we just think about this pivot we talked about the whole time, this kind of pivot level here, right? Here's the Trump news, here's the pullback. We hold the pivot, we hold it twice. We're now bullish, and they're trying to complete gap fill. Gap fill for ES, by the way, is going to be up into here, 976. So it's not quite there yet, but it's not far away. So yeah, we have to watch that. Let's set a price alert there so that we know. Why are you not doing that? Just do it just shy, and then we can move it. Add alert. There we go. Message. ES gap fill. In case we start selling in the broader markets once we get there. Okay. SPY, same kind of story. Let's just check the gap. Yeah, same gap. If you're trading the ETFs, you're looking at 9160s, 9170s for a full gap fill. It is the same story here, folks. Remember, we had a failed breakout on the spiders of this all-time high move. All right. Oh, I don't know what that is. This failed breakout. We have the same kind of thing here that we've been talking about on the Qs, where we have this box. All right. Most of the boxes sort of 930, sorry, 690. God, why can't I talk? 690, yeah, 690. All right, most of the volume is trapped in there. So do we reject this and rotate back down, or are we going to hold and just do one of these again and build out for a week or two into earnings, and then you know what's coming after that if we're able to do it. So all to play for. Same story on Qs. Gap already filled up, we talked about. So ES is the one lagging. Same story into this volume. Can we find acceptance? How long does that last? Dixie trading back downside. All right, taking pressure off the market. We zoom out of here. All right, we need to see, is the Dixie now going to collapse and break down, or is it going to try and reclaim this same range? VIX got absolutely smoked. All right, back down into this old pivot, so we can make this blue again. All right, so that big spike up on VIX got sold into. These now turn to resistance levels because we've traded through them the other way. You can see how I trade. All the levels become important all the time. And we are probably back into sort of some form of trend here on VIX. So we had this channel, we had a channel breakout. All right, and we're back into channel. So all the time VIX keeps fading under these key levels. It's already filled its gap pretty much. If we get down into these, it just means the market's going to continue to squeeze up. All right, MAG. How are we doing for time? Not too bad. I've got to get a bit of a move on here. Apple finding a bid yesterday, but again, you're going to see the same story here, folks. All right, gap is all the way up here to 55s. We gapped down on Tuesday. We lost that bid through Tuesday. We haven't even got back up there, but we are inside previous day's range right now. So the question is, can we retest this on Apple, or is this a build out of liquidity to remain weak? But a little gap up here, but it's still inside yesterday's range. Amazon, same kind of story. You can see where I've got the alerts above. That's the old range it's trying to reclaim. Might well find a lot of resistance up there. Goog, massive strength yesterday, all day strength, even off the Trump news, more strength. We're already back into that range on Goog. All right, we're already back into it. Meta, same kind of story. Remember, I'm still long Meta. A nice hold of 600s there, the whole number. And we just have to see, like, can we get back into these blocks up here, sort of 640s, 645, 650s, and wants to come and trade back into there. Remember, that's the same story across all tech right now. These are the trap participants, right? We are coming in to test these levels. Do we find a sell from there? do we find acceptance through as we come into earnings in the next few weeks? It's the same story across the board. Same on Microsoft. I'd argue Microsoft's considerably weaker. It's got a long way to go to get up here, but maybe not. 20 points, I guess it's achievable, but that's where it's trying to go. Strong break away from here, mean reversion back up. Do they resell it? And then Nvidia, remember chips have caught a bounce here. Nvidia coming up for this gap fill. We can add this alert in here as well, so we're aware of it. Right, that's the gap fill up into 86s from that. What is that? Friday to Tuesday gap. Yeah, same kind of story. Tesla, same story. It came up to it yesterday, rejected. It came up to pre-market, rejected, but it's still holding high lows. So can it find acceptance back into that old range? It's the same story across the board. We can look at some broader names here. Oracle got a long way to go. All right, got a long way to go to get back up. It's inside this pivot, but really it needs to get back into this range up here to the 200. Nvidia off earnings, still starting to climb back, right? Still holding this long. I'm still feel fairly comfortable in this, right? We were in deep discount, which is why I feel fairly comfortable, and we've just undercut that. So anyone who is looking at this with me, right, we were in deep discount and willing to add back into the 70s, but we've just traded a 40% discount, right, off the all-time highs. AMD, a rocket ship. All right, you can look at this. It's getting ready to go. Right, this thing is looking like it wants to break out again. I'm kind of a little bit gutted. I've only got a little bit left of this. I sold, I'm sure it was into the 80s, so this must be pre-market. Maybe I'm just wrong. Must be wrong. Okay, I'm sure that got into the 80s. But anyway, AMD looking like a rocket ship, trying to retest these highs and potentially break out. So tech strong, chip name strong. We do have news coming today as well that you need to be aware of. It's zoomed in. We just check this news. What have we got today? So yeah, 10 o'clock. Personal income delayed report. Personal spending delayed report. PCE index delayed report, PCE year over year, core PCE as well, and then PCE core PCE year over year. So lots of prints coming at 10 o'clock. Be aware of that. All right, team. Let's see what you guys are saying quickly. Good morning, everyone. Do me a favor, smash that like button nice and early so I don't have to talk about it anymore. We need to get up well over 400 likes so we can do some giveaways towards the end of the end of the stream. What are my settings for volume profile? For which volume profile? I just anchor everything from 9:30. All right, I'm interested in the 9:30 to 4 o'clock prints. Morning from Arizona. Nice, very nice. Morning, everyone. I don't trade options for those individual stocks. I always trade commons, unless I'm doing a leap. Correct. Yeah, 1%. Yeah. How do you mark out previous day point of control, value area high, value area low? Correct. 9:30 to 4 o'clock. That's exactly what I do. Yes. Good morning from LA. Hopefully it's a nicer day today. It was a bit muggy yesterday. I think it's supposed to rain. I think it is supposed to rain. So make sure you've gone through your daily routine, whether that be meditation or doing your daily charts. Make sure you're fit and able to trade, all that good stuff. Right, don't just turn up and expect to be able to execute well. You've got to go through your morning routine, morning process. And let's see what we get here. Somerset, UK. Nice to see people from all over the world here. Fantastic. Morning from Morocco. Lovely. I bet it's hot there right now. Okay, so it's starting to get stuck in this little node. But remember, if we find acceptance above here, anywhere around here, the drive is going to attempt to come to this naked weekly POC up towards the 900. If we start losing value and we want to sweep, right, we've got lots of stops down here. that we can look at, even previous day's high, even VWAP, and if we start losing more, then all the way down here is possible. I'm going to get rid of this. I thought we already got rid of that. So don't rush out the gate, all right? No rushing out the gate. All right, folks, almost there. 10 seconds left. Let's see what we do here this morning. Nice and patient here as we open up inside previous week's value. Good luck, everyone. Just going to watch this order flow to start the day, see if we want to sweep or hold or what we're going to do. All of the mag opening up comfortably green. We know we're coming into some resistance levels. We know SPY hasn't quite filled that gap yet. So into previous week close here. Seeing some selling here on the tape. So underneath current or previous week value. There's possible move down to 53s if they really want it, and below, where's the weekly developing profile? Way, way, way lower. All right, here's lower time frame algo tag. So previous day highs down here into 50s. VWAP is hanging out underneath. We can move significantly lower if they really want to, but I'd imagine they'll look for a sweep and a bid, but we will see. I don't think they finished upside yet, is my feeling. Okay, watching this New York Open now as well. So into low time frame algo, finding a bid there so far. They're still stacking bids way down into 650 right now. Back inside value now, so bidding off lower time frame algo. Here's the squeeze back up inside value, previous week value. Can it find acceptance back inside that or not? Currently not. There's lots of bids to come and fill down to 650 still. So they're bidding all the way down into here right now. We've got stack bids on the tape, just limit orders waiting here to get filled at the moment. There's the 80s. Yes, holding up well. What is that? Okay, NVIDIA crossing. So NVIDIA's now filled that gap. That's what that alert was. Is that right? Let me have a look at that. Yes, it is right. Okay. Yeah, NVIDIA now filling that gap. ES finding a bid. We're coming down to fill all these orders like I talked about. Previous day high possible here. Right, we just rejected value. We're going to come back down into here by the looks of it, or attempt to come back down into here. Still no trade yet for me. I just want to see if these bids hold. ES new high of day. So we've got divergence here. Remember, ES is trying to get back up towards 75 to fill its gap right now. SPY is trying to get back up towards 95 to fill its gap. It is into some sort of supply here. So interested to see if the market catches a bid here to join up with the ES, or if we go into a divergent sell. So I'm still watching 700 as a potential trigger if we're going to trade back over that and inside for some strength. We filled most of those orders. Still some orders down there. Watching this now into 700s. Make sure that lines up. Yeah, 699. There we go. They're still not through that value yet. Still rejecting so far, so no trigger. Still rejecting previous week value. If we get very heavy here and start to get underneath the week before, 650, yeah, if we start trading under 650 aggressively, there is potentially the move back down to these sort of 500s and 480s. So that's the other side of it if they really start getting aggressive under 650. 600. Okay. So I'm just watching the hourly here and see like where we've got stuck and where we'd need to find acceptance. We just went over this pre-market, right? So if it's going to find acceptance, it's got to reclaim this to do this. If it keeps rejecting this, this here is the next level where they might want to bid off. So you have to be careful here. Be willing to like watch this both ways while they make up their minds. Lots of selling coming down here and not getting that flush yet. They're still bidding at 650, still waiting to get filled. Have they moved any lower? There's some at 635s. So into VWAP we come then. So this is the 650. This is where we expected it to go. Previous day high in VWAP. The question is, do they bid here, or are we going to see a bigger flush now all the way down into these levels? Very, very, very possible that they do that. So all the selling started at 670. So 670 down to this level now is all sell side, all right? It is all aggressive selling. QQQ coming into a pivot. So they have got a chance to bid off here, buyers, if they want, where we are now. Did we just sweep? Yes, we've swept. So a reclaim now, and they've got a chance. If they stay heavy versus 650, then I would imagine we come down here. But if they start reclaiming, definitely if they reclaim up here, it's going to be a giant squeeze over 670 probably. So buyers came in over 670, sellers came in under 670. That's kind of your level at the moment that they're dictating which way we go. So still just waiting to see what they want to do here. Let's put some volume on here as well. There we go. That probably lines up pretty well. Yeah, not bad to that 670. Okay, watching here. Here's the drive. Come on, Bookmap. Buyers still adding liquidity lower at the moment. So we are definitely not able to get back over those 670s yet. We are holding around the VWAP. ES not really doing much, to be honest. Mag still all green. All right, Tesla 0.28% up. Nvidia 0.5% up. Microsoft 1% up. Meta 3.14% up. Google 1.60% up. Amazon 0.71% up. Apple 0.93% up. This shelf here is the level, somewhere around here. This is the level that buyers will need to get back above to take control of this market. All right, sellers will want to defend this to complete a rotation down to here. I'm going to wait to see how we act here. Would not be surprised to see a squeeze up today, but just waiting at the moment. Coming into these levels now, they're approaching it. And do they resell this? Do we see some sellers step in here and slap this back down or not? ES trying to reclaim its New York Open as well. So it's a good drive now into the 70s. Watching here to see if we're going to go through this POC and start to be aggressive. And they trigger this long back upside here. If the next dip holds, I'm going to join long for a squeeze back up towards 95 and then see if we can get through value. Here we go. Oh, you're going to fill on a dip. What's this buyer doing here? Just want to be careful. This buyer's faking around 70. He's just pulled his order to 55. Not in yet. Was very, very close to buying there and then didn't like what I saw on the tape. Someone spoofing. All right, into value area low. So maybe they rebid 50 here. Still no trade. Watching carefully. I'm interested. Yeah, they bid in front of 50. So this buyer stepped in this time at 60. So 60 to 85 is the rotation. Squeeze will happen over probably 80. Definitely over 90. Is this buyer legit? He keeps up bidding and then pulling. He's just pulled again, flashed and pulled, flashed again, and then came in on a market. What is? Feels like yesterday. Same kind of player. All right. Well, we look good. Here we go. So into the 700s. Can we get acceptance over that now? If we can get acceptance over that, we're going to start rocketing. ES going for higher day, which is great. Come on, we've got to get back over 700s and then start squeezing. We need to go back over previous week value if we're going to really start squeezing. So I'll trim some into this just in case. Long from 62 at the moment. This might come all the way back down. Make your mind up. Fix trading towards a low day. Zoom this in. We're still holding pivots well, holding 20-day well on QQQ. I think we want to go back above value area low here to squeeze. If we get back above this, we will squeeze, obviously, if we get over New York Open. 60 is the level where buyers keep buying dips at the moment. If that breaks, then we're going to see more of a flush. They've held that, what, 3 times now? They're looking for the breakthrough 700. If ES can get going for the gap fill, then Qs might find a bid with this. Come on, you got to get back over 700 to find acceptance into the old range. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck here. Don't want to lose 60s here. If they lose 60s, there's a flush back down. Still early. How much? Not even at the orb yet. Come on. Big buyer getting caught here. Don't like that. Don't like that into this same level. So they're defending in front of 700 right now. Big buyer just got caught right there into 90s. There you go. Flush through 6 to 60s. This is line in the sand for buyers. I will cut if we can't hold this. Fucking buyer at the high. Always someone getting stuck. Always someone getting stuck. Need to be careful here, right? Because under here, if we're going to get acceptance lower, right, buyers need to hold this and do this. If we're going to get acceptance lower, there is room for a full rotation. It's why you cannot just be willing to force in. Really, I want to see the flow zones turn. I'll start adding heavy above here if we start supporting bids back up. But otherwise, no. The fact that buyers just got stuck here 3 times in a row in front of 700s is not a good look. ES made high of day, pulling back to its VWAP now, New York VWAP. What are we doing on the spiders? Still not gap filled there either. Let me get this other gap fill line in. 91s. Okay, weakness here, out of this now. That's a shame. All right, flow zone's in a sell. That buyer getting stuck at 90 caused all the issue there. Yes, back to New York Open. Okay. Willing to flip bias if we start to lose bids. What's this pivot here? 45.50. Where's the next node? 600 and then 500s. Okay. Oh my days. There we go. There's all the buyers getting caught. This is what we said. Got to be willing to flip bias if we start to lose the bids here. So is that a flush which is absorbed? ES right back down into 24-hour VWAP and previous day high. If they don't rebid this, then I would imagine we're going to trade significantly lower. Watching value area low here. Back into the 50s is key. So is that a full sweep and a reclaim of 50s and VWAP or not? Or are they going to reject this same level we just sold from? Previous day high, 53s. ES bidding off previous day high and VWAP. 50s is the level now. They're trying to reclaim here. Testing back into 50s. Current value area low on the day. Are they going to go rotation back up again? Was that a flush just to catch everyone out is the question. Imbalance here up to, what's this level here? 61s. This ain't too pretty to start. What's this node here? 56s. Orb now set. Buyers getting caught there again. Back into 40s where this shelf was. Sellers can't get it under 40s. Buyers can't get it back above sort of 60s. And we are stuck. Big buyer coming in here twice. Trying to get a force up. Not happening yet. Pinned. We're pinned. They need to get breakthrough 50s and 60s to squeeze up to 90s. Here they go. They're trying. They're trying to get back into value. The low volume node here is being protected so far. They need to get through that for that squeeze up. It's being protected so far. Again, more buying coming in here and getting caught so far. This is an ugly start to the day. I'm starting to wonder if I should have just sold 50s when I said if we flip 50s, we should probably sell for that move all the way down. I'm starting to wonder if I'm going to regret this and we're going to come all the way down now. That might be a miss. I did talk about it. That might have been the miss of the day. Oh my gosh. Is this going to be 3 days in a row, Alex, where you miss a big trade? I think it is. I think it is. I think I've just missed that. I said, I've got to be willing to flip bias if we lose 50s. I didn't take that rebid back in for a sell. And I feel like I'm about to regret that big time. Man. That might sting. If we're going to fade all day, that's going to really sting. Oh no, annoyed myself. Annoyed myself. Did anyone take that short for that 50 flip? I think you're going to get a fade now. Fuck me. Jeez Louise. All right, sellers came in at 610s. That's the level that sellers want to defend right now. They came in at 610s. That's your opening range. So if we get back inside the opening range, there's a squeeze. Otherwise, you're looking for downside pressure all the way down into here now. All the way down into there. Yeah, nice. Nice you guys who did it. I mean, I called it. Just... That's when I get very upset. This is what happens when it's 3 days in a row. Now I probably can't trade for the rest of the day. I need to be very careful. I said it yesterday. Missed the fade Tuesday, 3 attempts. Yesterday, the same thing. And now I've just called it and hesitated and missed it. What happens when you hesitate? You miss good moves. Is what it is. Is what it is. All right, VIX coming back up to that pivot. And previous day value area high will be your target now. If you can fade all the way down, you'd be looking for this block down here. I wouldn't be looking for a fade under that. I'd be looking to cover into those areas, all right? Covering into those areas. They're still selling these lows here. And obviously cover on the way down. This is a pretty good move. You're, what, 80 points up from that 50s already? And you're probably going to get, they're still bidding at 550 down here. Some volume being built up here. So lots of orders coming in here. You're gonna look for this area down here, folks. Yeah, well done, everyone. Well done, everyone. It's not that hard to flip bias. I said I had to flip the bias, but it's just that I didn't do it. I didn't execute it. That's what's annoying. It's not money. It's not like money lost. It's money missed. Is that the right way of putting it? Frustrating. It's frustrating for me knowing that I had it planned out and didn't take it. It is what it is. All right, so we're into the top of this shelf here. We can see this like little node here developing. Otherwise, they're going to trade up to 600. So sellers will want to protect this node around sort of 85. Otherwise, they're going to see it trade up to 600 and 610s. There's a clear target down here, folks. Clear target down below right now. I'd watch this node at 85. If they scream through it, they'll come and fill some above. Very upset with myself. So still tapping into this node. You can see this like top of here. If they can defend this, sellers will look to rotate down. If not, there is a squeeze back up. Lower time frame squeeze, obviously. All right, it'll be a lower time frame squeeze. And maybe they'll look for those sort of 610s kind of levels, which is what they're trying to do right now. Filling some of that imbalance. Here they go. They're going for those 610s now. We just talked about it. Here's the 600 test. So through the 85s, I'm grabbing a piece of this up to 610s, and we can watch that orb. All right, and if we get acceptance back through that, it means we don't fill this. All right, so we're coming back towards this level now. This and this. Sellers will want to defend this for this. If they can't, and we see this, we'll go rotation back up. This would be a dip which is bought. I would say sellers are now caught under 73 on the day. All right, sellers got caught under 73 on the day, under here. So this is the level that buyers must absorb. Sellers want to get under it. Come on, rectangle, where are you? Right, this is the level where sellers are currently caught underneath. Oh, Alex. Oh, at least I made some. Here's 610s. All right, out of this now and wait to see if we get acceptance. So managed to lock in a little bit there. Paid myself a little bit on the way up. At least it's better than a kick in the bollocks for the day. But I am upset with myself there. I didn't flip. Okay, back towards this same level that we sold down from. So your opening range now being reclaimed. ES coming into its 24-hour VWAP. Watch this pivot very, very carefully on ES. I'd say 46s. VIX getting stuck into that pivot as well around the 1625s. So buyers want to protect this now, and they will want to get back inside the rotation for the day. That's their job. And if we squeeze, then we'll need to get ES will need to go through the VWAP, which is not able to do yet. And we will need to reclaim all of these levels above. So this is still just a pullback, which gets sold into. Sellers must get it underneath this grey box here. That's really where the sellers are stuck underneath there. If they can't do that, there might be another leg up. SPY testing the level we broke down from. QQQ not there yet. So have to pay attention to SPY. SPY is reacting very well to the levels. If you look at like the pre-market low, we've just traded back into it, which is also lower time frame algo. It's also previous day high, and it's also the 20-day moving average. We're not trading through it yet. So far, there's a reaction from there. Qs are nowhere near there. Still have strength. So inside value now. Do we go back through this node for 40s? Volatile market. trying to lift through 20 to go and test 40 at the moment. It's not able to do it. They're stacking at 25s to 35s. Bids are at 600 right now. Here we go. So they're trying to fill the 25 now, and they should try and get up to 40 if they can. Sellers came in aggressively at 40. 40 to 50 is the next big node that they will need to trade through these buyers if we're going to find acceptance in current day's range. Obviously, we're outside of previous week value area low, so they're going to want to reclaim all of that if they're going to be very, very aggressive today. Until that point, technically we can trade down, and this is relief back upside into where these sellers were at 40. All right, this is relief back upside into where the sellers were at 40. We have an imbalance at 34. Which they just rejected as the big sell back down to this grey box. Remember, this is the key level. This grey box is your key level, right? Because we've got sellers stuck underneath this grey box. This is your key level. If we sell through this, then you're going to see continuation back down to previous day value area high. This is the key level now. Buyers must protect that, and sellers must trade through it. There are bids lower here. Looks like we're going to trade through it at the moment unless they get restuck here. What was this upside pivot? 605s. They're adding liquidity much lower now into 530 and 520, all the way down. Might very well be that this is sold through at this point. As they're adding lots of liquidity for it to come and take out. SPY didn't get to VWAP. ES didn't get to VWAP. We are back down into these pivot lows. Rejecting pre-market levels on the spiders. QQQ never got there, so we're a little bit out of sync in terms of where we're at on QQQ versus SPY. What are we doing here? I would assume we're going to sweep all this liquidity that's just stacked underneath us, but we're still holding grey box for now. Here we go. We're going to come for that liquidity. Are we 70 all the way down to 45s at the moment? In fact, 35s now added and 25s now added. Yeah, news in 3 minutes. You're right. Still, all the liquidity is underneath to come and sweep. Everything's underneath to come and sweep. I'm sure. There we go. This is what I'm saying. When they put these many orders here, it's just they're going to come for them. They're just going to come for them. It's just what they do. There has been a spoofer on the book today, though. There's one thing I would say. There's been one guy spoofing non-stop. Same as yesterday, actually. Maybe we'll wait for this news. Maybe we can get bids off here. We'll find out soon enough. We will find out. ES into its 5-day and its pivot as well. Target is still down here. They're starting to lose this grey box now. The target is still down here for those sellers. And they've now added liquidity at 500 as well. So they're trying to get down there, maybe on the news drop. Grey box becoming key. towards these 600s again. And there's got an imbalance here, just in front of 600. News, 5 seconds here, folks. Be careful. News incoming. Maybe they can get down, fill these guys that we just talked about, and then we can see what's what. And they come. Some sellers got caught down there again. Didn't fill all the liquidity. Finding a bid so far. How have they not come down into all of this is beyond me. This is like yesterday where it's like, it's so clear where they're trying to go and then they can't do it. Nice, nice, just past 3, good work. Grey box still key, you're under over, all right? Sellers are in control all the time, we're under this, looking for that rotation down to there. All right, sellers are in control all the time, they're under this, looking for this rotation down into these targets. Buyers will take control once they're able, or if, shouldn't say once, if they were able to do that, not before. And still we come down. VIX now above its pivot, folks. Be very careful here. VIX now above its pivot. And if it starts squeezing over this, VIX can get all the way up to 1666s. Check that newsprint. In line. Yeah, core PCE in line. Year over year, pretty much in line. Price index year over year in line. Consumer spending in line. Yeah, no outliers. Come on, just come down and do it for fuck's sake, because if you leave it open, there's nothing we can do with you. They're reselling. There's a guy chasing this down now with 100 lot. He's trying to chase it down lower now. They should get this move down into here now at this point. I'm absolutely kicking myself for not selling those 650s. I still haven't let go of it in my head. It might be a no trade day. If I can't let go of that in my head, I'm going to struggle to move on. VIX starting to get through that gap now. So VIX has got a chance to get up to 1660 now. It's got a chance. Grey box still absolutely key as you're under over. Target is below. There's clear targets below. There's clear low-hanging fruits below. Very upset with myself for not doing that. A little bit of front running. ES into 5-day here. So ES doing a 5-day, 20-day rotation. That's never a nice thing to see. SPY doing the same. QQQ possibly about to do the same. VIX still going. Grey box still key. Grey box still you're under over. All right, grey box is still absolutely vital. If you're still short, these are a couple of points, right? TP, TP, and TP. All right, longs, you don't want to be short if we start basing over here, all right, because that is where you have squeeze potential. If we get over the grey box, that is where you have squeeze potential. So shorts must keep protecting this, this, and this for runners. If I would expect cover points to happen in here and here, but if we find acceptance under here, we can really get nasty. What was the news? It was PCE. We went over it all and just gave you all the reads. They all came in line. Okay, back to grey box again. Back to flow zones, back to grey box. Still got things below to aim for. They're still adding liquidity lower for it to aim for. Grey box still rejecting so far. Squeeze relief will come over that grey box, not before it. Still rejecting it. Still buyers just got caught into that grey box so far. Still targets are below. It's still not taking out previous day value area high. I want to make sure that lines up. Yeah. So I'd say your cover points are 420, 520, all the way down to 430. There's 100 points of cover in here. If they really want to flush it down into here, they can. But this is like, you must be covering into this. I would expect if buyers are going to turn up, they're going to turn up somewhere in this region. All right, just based on higher time frame. And a strong sell here so far. Oh, Alex, what a fade that would have been from here. All you have to do is fucking sell 50s. Ah! Cannot let it go. I cannot let it go. I don't know why. I just cannot let it go. It's bugging me. It's really bugging me. Big seller just came in at 55. Here we go. So starting to flush further down now. Into the 40s. Can we get down into the 20s, which is where they're trying to get? $40 bid just left and then came back on. Should come down to 20s here. I don't know what this guy at 40 is doing, playing games. Yeah, exactly. It was the perfect short. That's why I talked about it pre-market. It was absolutely perfect. That's why I'm really upset with myself for not taking it. I spoke about it even when it was happening. I just didn't. It's just bad trading. It's just as simple as that. It's bad trading. But it's all right. There'll be another setup. All right, back to grey box. Remember, squeeze relief will come over the grey box until that point sellers are in control. Big buyers last got stuck at 579.25, somewhere around that. So just call it 580. Buyers need it back above 580. They're stuck all the time. It's under that. You should sweep London. Well, maybe. It's possible. Yeah, I know, guys. I know what's happened. You've got what you have to understand is it's all very well what you're all saying, and you're not wrong, any of you. But this is the third day in a row I've missed 100+ pointer. Yesterday I missed like 200+ pointer. That delta starts to build. It doesn't matter what you say or what books say. I can tell you my data says that when that happens, there's very strong chance I start making big errors. So I have to like be very, very, very careful for the rest of the week now. I said it yesterday when it happened. So I'm just aware of my own flaws. These are my flaws, right? These are big tilt triggers for me, is missing stuff, being right and missing stuff. There's 3 days in a row, 100+ points without me. All right, coming to test these 80s again. Grey box again, right? This grey box is key. Current value area low on the day, shelf there, and buyers stuck at 80s. So over 80s, there's a squeeze. Until that point, like I keep talking about, grey box will be defended by sellers. Again, it's being defended. Point of control now starting to flip down here, by the way, folks. Be aware of that. Hasn't shown you here yet, but it will probably flip in a minute. On Ninja, it's already flipped. I'm willing to bid on this market if we trap sellers down here. I'm willing to bid on this market if we trap sellers down here. Something like this. I'm willing to bid on. If we lose this and lose this, I'm definitely not willing to bid on it because that actually opens up this move. It's a bit like yesterday. It's going to require an insane amount of patience from me now, and I'm not convinced I'm going to trade it. If I'm still feeling like this, I won't trade it. If I can shake this feeling off, I'll trade it. But I'll be here for you and tell you what I'm looking at either way. There you go. POC now flipped on TradingView. Okay, I'm gonna get a refill on my tea while it does this. Hopefully, it doesn't just squeeze without me straight away. Oi. What's what feeling, Scott? Sorry, mate. I might have missed. And what was that feeling again? Oh, what I feel inside, like a form of anger for myself, a form of frustration, like any of those sort of low frequency feelings, which are all basically feelings of pain, anything like that. If I'm feeling any of those, whether it's to do with trading or not, I have to be really careful. Okay, so coming to test these 80s we just talked about, it's where the buyer is stuck. And rejecting it again. So the buyer remains stuck there. He's actually at 79.75. It's like the exact tick data I have on it. So he's still stuck there and he just became a seller. Oh, shaking a feeling. Yeah, shaking that feeling of like frustration or any kind of like anything which doesn't make me feel like I'm comfortable or in flow on a trade. 10 o'clock news numbers are in. Yeah, they were in 15 minutes ago. We've already talked about them. Lots of you keep asking what was the news. We've already talked about it. I don't understand why you're asking at 7:15. Way too late, folks. Way too late. The news came in line. It was core PCE. It all came in line. All right, it's had no effect on the market. Market's selling off because we came into a supply level and we rejected previous day value. All right, so we rejected this node. I wasn't sure if we were going to reclaim this and squeeze, and I said the moment we lose 50 we need to be thinking about the short. We lost 50 and that was the opportunity and I missed it. That is my trading today. I'm being honest with you. I will go back and chalk it off and watch the stream. All right, back towards these 80s again. Squeeze will happen over 80s, not before that. If they're going to get this going, it's going to have to break through 80s and start holding it. So here's the 80s. It's got to now hold above this. Can't just fade back inside. Nothing will change if it fades back inside. I've been on tilt-like behavior since 5th grade. I feel you, buddy. Okay, still not through the 80s, still rejecting up there. All right, we just put in a wick and rejected. We need to get back above this and base if they're going to curl it, which they're now trying to do. Okay, let's see. See if they go back for these 600s and view up. And I'd be watching SPY over 88.50s, really. Still in this grey box. So we poked above it. We're still in the grey box. Still can't get a close above it. So buyers will now want to defend 63s. They can't do that. This is just going to be a little trap above here. Can feel the frustration in me today. Be a trap above here. If they get under here, this will fade. All right, buyers need to do this. Not seeing it. There you go. So a little trap. And if they get under here, they're probably going to try and rotate. This is very key now. It's adjusted since I drew it, but it's here is where the buyer's stuck. That's why we put the grey box in. It's not just the node. It's where the buyer is stuck. I can see him stuck, right? Here, see this? This guy right here. This is where he got stuck, all right? It's important to understand where players are stuck in the market. I'll give you edge. All right, so we just lost it. That's the trap we just talked about. We're back underneath. If they don't hold this, then I would imagine a flush all the way down now. They've just done all the damage of trapping all those buyers who didn't wait. It's starting to look pretty messy down here, I'll tell you that. Back to POC. Imbalance now is up to 66s. Do they resell this now? $66s. I'm going to look, see how we act at 66s. That imbalance and the edge of the grey box again, straight through 66s. This is where the buyer last got trapped. There is a seller here. I'm unconvinced right now. I'm more interested in playing longs if it can prove to myself, just because of the area we're in. Can I explain the trap? Yeah, well, if we have this shelf here, right, and we know there's a buyer stuck there, and buyers start buying this breakout here, not waiting for us to do this, then you have more buying volume there that sellers, passive sellers, sell into and rotate under. So if they're able to hold under here, they're now increased the amount of buy volume here stuck, which means if they break lower, there's even more buyers now stuck for us to move down from. Did we just wick underneath there? Who's bidding down here? Double bottom. I don't like that. We should do this, really. That's what it should do. Should do this. I'll be willing to buy if we can do this. Ideally, it does this at this point. 70s, grey box again. So I can tell you the big outlying delta is 65s and 80. That's where the buyers, their outlying delta is 65s and 80. So if we're not above that, they're stuck. Right? If we're above that, they're comfortable. ES is trying to curl SPY off its 5-day moving average. Probably going to want to test the 20-day if it can get going. All right, let's see. I don't like the bottom of this auction, I'm going to be honest, but I will be willing to play this if we're going to start to squeeze and base above. Back into these 79s and 80s. Are we going to base above here? This is where they got stuck last time. So looking to see if we can hold now. I want to be very careful with ES approaching VWAP. I want to see a pullback hold, really. I mean, much more comfortable if we can have a pullback that holds rather than just coming in for these wicks. We've got an imbalance now. I want to see this buyer step up now and squeeze. Come on, mate, lift it to 600 and let's see. Yes, not even getting to VWAP. Come on. Nice, there we go. Lovely. I'm going to trim some into this imbalance at 600 just to be careful. And then see if we can get up into here. And then see if we can rotate. Scalping my way through this because we're early. We don't know. I don't like the bottom of the auction. I'm not convinced the bottom's in yet. So I'm just scalping this up, paying myself on the way. If it goes, it goes and we're happy. But if it doesn't and it needs to come and clean out this, then I understand because this bottom of the auction does not look very good. So I'm not sure. I'm not convinced we're done selling yet. But I'm putting this long, scalping some out into 600. And if we can lift back into 15s and 20s, great. But let's see. Start there at 600 again. 80s the level now. They've got to hold the dip. If they don't hold the dip in 80s, I'll probably get out of this. They've got to flip this grey box into some support structure at 80s. If they don't hold 80s, I'll probably cut. And then I'll look to see how we act at 65. So far, holding 80s nicely. Okay, come on then. Let's go. Thank fuck for that. Let's go then. Oh, my God. Oh. All right, see if we get acceptance through this. It's very possible they reject this here, folks. I just want to make that very, very clear. You must pay yourself on the way. Nice. Into the orb. This is where the big seller came in this morning into these 10s. Through 10s, we've got VWAP at 23s, but we can probably lift towards 40s if we can get through the 10s. All right, ES into VWAP like we talked about, rejecting there for now. SPY into that pre-market low pivot, rejecting that as well. So be very careful. I would trim a big chunk of your position here. If they want to sell this on the higher time frame, they will. All right, so if we look at spiders, oh, wrong chart. Right here, there we go. So this is what I was just saying. Make sure you're selling into this. No. All right, there's your pre-market pivot. All right, just selling into it. And if we go to ES, into VWAP and selling. All right, I'm out of this now, by the way, folks. Obviously, I'm not going to sit through this. Like I said, I don't like the bottom of this auction. It's very possible they come and clean this up. There's not enough excess down there in my mind. And they might have just used this to resell. So we hit VWAP and then got the sell. So no confirmation through the 10s. Remember I said through 10s. It's got a base above 10s to get going. No confirmation through the 10s. And we can probably clean up the low of day here, because there's not a good auction at that low of day right now. It's there's not enough excess. Remember yesterday we talked about excess. So same kind of thing here. Sellers will want to now defend 65 and create a new low on the day and flush down towards 516s. Cannot imagine buyers just being able to hold these lows. I mean, it's possible, but it would be a very ugly low of day auction. I would imagine this gets resold on the push up towards 65s. We will see. It's been a wishy-washy market the last few days. Here's the push up towards that level. Point of control here. There's the push to 65s. Are they going to break this higher? Nah, surely not. Surely you clean up low of day. Surely you clean up low of day, NQ. That is disgusting. If you're going to knock me out and run higher, that is really horrible. I'm sure you're going to clean up low of day. You can't leave it like that. It's gross. What's VIX doing? VIX is fading now as well at 16s. This is actually really horrible action at the lows. I'm going to tell you that. That auction at the low is gross. I know there's a shelf, but there's no excess. This is horrible. This is just like yesterday at the high when it knocked me out. Mother... Meh. Oh, there's no excess down here. I'll get rid of this now. I traded through it too many times. Ugh. Really? Really? I'm guessing 618 is a massive gamma level on QQQ. I'm guessing that is a huge gamma level today. The fact that they've just done what they've done. I do not feel comfortable now. Yes, back to that pre-market level again. I do not feel comfortable longing QQQ now, knowing that it just came down and didn't sweep all that liquidity. And I feel like it's probably going to just piss me off and just rock it now. So I was positioned long here, took some off, out of it, doesn't sweep. So I'm waiting for the sweep now to get back long. Doesn't sweep, creates more stops down here, driving back upside right now. It is possible they come and revisit this, but like I talked about, this SPY level is key, and it's starting to try and get through it here. So I'll be watching this. Is it previous day high or previous week high on SPY? Previous day high on SPY. Watch this level into 88s. If we trade through that, we'd probably get going here on the market. I can't believe it. Knocked me out, didn't sweep, and then went straight back up. It is yesterday all over again, but reversed. Do I have another go at this is the question. Do I have another stab? Compression down here now. Yes, VWAP. SPY trying to get VWAP and 20-day and previous day high. $6.15's gamma on QQQ, is it? I mean, that makes sense. But just how we've reacted, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, for 40 minutes, at 618 on QQQ. It's not like there's a giant pivot there. there's not much there. It's like the after hours close and that's it. What are these guys doing? What are they doing? What are they doing? ES can't get through it. Oh, yeah, ES can't get through its VWAP. Right, dip just got bought up again in front of the 80s, or at the 80s, but in front of the 65s. This might go now. They might have caught enough in that last move. They're trying to bid it up. They need the 600 break, and then we got 630 on deck probably. There's 600. They break this, they'll squeeze up and look for sort of 630, 625, 630, 644. It's very ugly. I do not like the lower day. It's the one thing that's making me very uncomfortable about thinking about the long right now. Back down to these 80s again. And the shelf down at 65. If we'd put in a new low of day and had excess, I'd be thinking about a long here. If we'd done that, I would be thinking about long here. That's where my head's at right now. But we haven't, and so it's kind of making me question why we're doing this dance. SPY cannot get through that pre-market either. Very unconvinced right now of this market. It might need to trade sideways for a bit longer until it makes a decision. Trapping more bulls possibly to take out lower day. I mean, it's possible, but it's possible the other way around as well. Don't have much edge here. All I know is we're holding value area low, but we haven't come and taken these low-hanging fruits. There is not much excess there, and we're getting stuck here time and time again. So this is just, it keeps just rotating this until it's ready. That's all I know. But we are now starting to protect 80 and definitely not letting it under 65s. What are these guys doing? Both sides now stacked on the big and ask. It's gone to sleep. Something's going to give soon. We can't stay here forever. Something will absolutely give soon. Cannot just sit like this forever. There you go. There's the thing giving. So tens again. Remember, tens is the orb. If we go back inside the orb, we're looking for VWAP and then above. There we go, back inside the orb. Now looking for VWAP and above. There's VWAP. And value area high would be 630s. If we're going to test that, we've actually got a node at 40s, which I'm looking at, and sellers came in at 39 earlier today. So relief up here. Can we trade through VWAP and now get going? It's very upsetting for me. I would have sized into this if the low of day had a better auction on it. Buyers getting a little bit caught here at 20s. Be careful if you're long in this. There we go. There's 20s. Let's see if they can lift now to 30s. into these nodes here. And then if we get very lucky, we get up to 76s. Tiny size in this because I don't trust it. Is 30s, value area high on the day through this node. Right, next thing that we're aiming for is all the way up here into 73s. Man, why couldn't they have just done a better auction at the lows? I'd pay yourself here because we've just swept all this liquidity here, right? And we come into value area high on the day. So if they want to go into a rotation, they can just pin us in here. Oh, I'm so upset. I'm so upset. So rejection of value so far, but we're now finding that bullish momentum into the weekly gap. Obviously, this grey box is a big weekly gap. Sellers got stuck under here. All right, most of the selling happened under 62, certainly under 50, under here. But what I would have liked to have seen, what would have made this like a B setup, let's say, or rather than a C setup? Well, it would have been this here. All right, complete low-hanging fruit, clean this out, reclaim, let shorts chase in, and then go upside. Unfortunately, we haven't got that, but it just is what it is. We can only trade with what we've got. And we are getting very close to these pivots up here now as well. All right, so these sort of pivots, 660, 650. All right, let me put a little line in here. We want to be careful with this here, where we broke down from this morning, right? Where I should have short from this morning. I want to be very careful of that pivot as we get into it. Bank of Japan news tomorrow night. Is it tomorrow night or tonight? I can't remember. Let me have a look for you. Oh, it's CPI, Japanese CPI tonight. Bank of Japan tonight. And the decision tonight. It's tonight, mate. Jan 22nd. Yeah, it's tonight, not tomorrow. I guess it's tonight, but it's on tomorrow's candle. I guess that's what you mean. We might need to build some liquidity here if we are to expand back upside just based on those pre-market levels. We read out on the mag. Tesla 0.88% up, Nvidia 0.91% up, Microsoft 0.61% up, Meta 3.97% up, Google 0.85% up, Amazon 0.91% up, Apple 0.84% up. Retesting this value area high again now. These 630s. Like I said, if we get through here, there is room. There's a 640 where the big sellers came in. 640, 650 was the pivot, right? 640, 650 was the pivot. They are trying. They are trying. Here comes the move for 640 to test where that seller was. Yeah, I did participate, but I'm small size. I've just been small size on that move up. $640 is coming up here. It's where that seller was. And remember, 50s is the pivot from here. And if we think about this move today, we've also got to think about the fib on it. I don't like that tops. Flat top and flat bottoms, those are not nice. Into 50% here, so you want to be paying yourself. We've got a flat top and a flat bottom on this market in the New York session. Okay, what we have to be aware of is this here and this here, and I don't like this. So I still think this is possible, but if they are just going to leave this for whatever reason, this is the next move, and then over here would be this, and we would need to respect previous week value area low, which we could not get back inside yet. So they're saying that they don't want to go back into the old balance right now. This old balance that we left, which we've traded away from, they don't want to get back inside it yet. So first attempt this morning was rejected. That's first attempt on the week. Hanging around VWAP right now. Market feels very sleepy at this point. Building out another node here. Forties is still the level where those sellers were. It's where they're trying to test to see if that seller's going to be there. 1450 if they lift. And then previous day high 53s. It's trying. It is trying. Here we go. Here's the 40s test. This is where the seller came in this morning. Here to 50. They're lifting. So they push 40 to 50 now. Offering 60s now as well. Imbalance here up into 61s from 9:43 this morning. Here we go. Make sure you're selling your profits on the way. I'm out of this at this point. Question is, do they put in a giant squeeze or do they start reselling this to attack those lows where I don't like the edge of that auction? I do not know. I do not know right now. VIX still trading back down. Trading to its low of day. It's got like another. We're trading at 1578. It needs to trade down to 1570. So very close. So 50's coming up here. Previous day high coming up here. Oh my God. Bullish momentum coming back in. Looking for this pivot into 16 to see how we act now. Where did I execute? I was actually a bit later. Execute here. These moves here. So I was long this. Paid myself. Stopped out. Reflushed. Was hoping it'd do this for me to get long cheap again on a failed auction. It didn't. It held. It did all this nonsense, so I had to join a bit later. and I've paid myself into this. I'm fully out of it. This will be your target. If we get through this, maybe. It's messy, though. Just depends if they put the boosters on like yesterday or not, you know? I'll make some toast here. I'm hungry. I'll be right back. All right, boosters are on. It's getting frothy and extended into this next node, 70s, possible. Fix near that lower day. Yep, exactly. It is approaching that golden pocket and previous day high and lower time frame algo. Lots of reasons for you to take profit into these moves. Do not want to hold past these moves. Not with size anyway. And just rebid this little box here though. Again. They just rebid that box. They are now chasing this market up. What I would say, this up here is also very ugly, right? There's no big excess. They can come and clean that up the same way they should have cleaned this and they didn't. I would not be surprised to see it trade through that today. I wouldn't. I would not be surprised at all to see them trade through that today. My toast just popped up. I'll be right back. Is it me or does today feel like really slow? It feels so slow to me. Still holding this node. If they let go of grey, then maybe there's a move down to VWAP, but otherwise they can keep squeezing this up. They absolutely can keep squeezing this up. If they keep holding, they can keep squeezing. But if they let go of this, there's a move down to 20s. Big if, but VIX lower day. VIX low of day. There's the 40 check. They let go of this, there's a bigger move. Maybe down to view up for that pullback. It's possible. Here we come. Come on, baby. I've been really good boy. Let's go. Woo! Finally got me some today. Let's go. Paid myself on that. Back into New York VWAP. Beautiful. That might be me done for the day. I was aggressive there. As soon as we broke that, I was like, yep, I'm having you. Thanks very much. Into that. Really nice. Really nice. Man, you keep asking the same questions. Let me explain something to you. If I say, if we let go of 40, we're going to trade down to VWAP, where do you think I'm entering? Where do you think I'm entering? If we let go of this, we're going to trade down to this. Where do you think I'm entering? Obviously at the level that we're letting go of, right? I'm not entering above that level. Maybe it's your first day here, but I will not guess bottoms on markets. I will let volume prove to me that participants are stuck. I will let volume prove to me that participants are stuck. And then I will trade down to the next level. All right. If they want to tag this all the way down here and clean this up, they can. The same way they can clean this up. This is not a very nice looking market right now. It needs cleaning up both sides, in my opinion. But I will scout my way through this. What was the confluence there? Value area high on the session. No acceptance above. Where did we say sellers came in this morning? 50s, right? Where have we just got buyers stuck? Into 50s. What did we leave? 40s. What did we trade down to? 10s. Thanks very much. Job done. What was the level we talked about on the upside? 10s. This guy here. Same level. 10s. 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 Break, hold, break, hold. Under this, weakness. I do use hotkeys, yeah. I have a crosshair keyboard specifically, so I can use hotkeys. Thanks to Coop, he got me onto that. Also, PDH retest, lower time frame algo retest. Look at everything here, guys. We went over this. We literally drew this out like 10 minutes ago, right? 50%, golden pocket, 61. 50s, big level that they sold from. PDH, lower time frame algo, big level. Buyers get stuck, leave shelf, play back inside. Value area high, right? Doesn't mean it can't go higher, but this trade here made sense. This can make sense. This can make sense. This is a battleground now. Cross air, not hair. Cross air, no H. No H. Okay, not a terrible day now. I don't feel as bad. Starting to make a bit of money back. Feel like I missed huge trades today. Tesla just exploded. You know? Wow. It did. That's a big move on the 5 minute. 35 almost to 40. $5 move. 3 previous day high. It's got a base above that though. If you're trading Tesla, you need it to base above 38.19s, 38.20s. Can't base above that, there's no follow through. Base above that, then you're looking to take out the stops in 41s. Do I compare M1 with other timeframes? Yeah. M1 doesn't do the work for me. H1 really does the work for me. H1 and daily. That's why I keep bringing you down to here to make you understand where we're at. Right. This is the big level. We had to wait to see this morning if we found acceptance in it. We didn't. Once we didn't, we should have got short at 50s for the rejection of that level. Didn't get short at 50s. Very annoying. Very stupid, Alex. Idiot. Right? Since then, what have we done? We traded away from it. We haven't actually hit our target down here, which is a bit annoying. This blue box, this demand zone, which was previous day's value area high, previous day's point of control. That's an area where I'm very interested in bidding off, right, for a rotation back to here. If we find acceptance, we get a runner to go. We didn't get that. We also didn't get the fade. The fade would have been a let go of this, a retest, a let go of previous day's value area high and point of control, and a rejection back down all the way to here. We didn't get that either. All we're actually getting, if I'm honest with you, is a liquidity build between previous day's value, previous week's value area low, previous day's value area high. They are building liquidity in here, right? Maybe tomorrow we use that liquidity, maybe this afternoon, but we are definitely building liquidity in here right now. Shorts can come into effect if we start to rotate back inside here, and longs can come into effect. I'm talking about higher time frame if we're going to keep holding, and definitely if we're going to hold this level here for this naked point of control, this rotation up. Right now, we're making up our mind what we're going to do. If we zoom out, all we're doing is we're thinking about this box. Right, it actually dates back further, even onto the old contract. Think about all the supply. Are we going to aggressively leave it like we did here? Right? Is this a retest to leave it again? Or is this a failure of value lower? So we're going to search for value higher, which will be where? Well, it would be where we found value for the last 4 or 5 weeks, up in here. And then what would not surprise me is if we do this, okay, and then we go, hey, tech earnings are mega, let's rotate back into tech. Boom. Or, hey, AI bubble's a real thing, like earnings not so good. Boom. All right. I would not be surprised to see us back in that death range again. But trading NQ minis on H1 won't work for me. My accounts wouldn't be able to handle that. Well, you don't trade them. Try and make sense for this for you. You need to create a storyline. All right. So if you come to the market with me each day at 9:15 market time, what do? Start on the daily. I think about what my narrative was in on the daily. Then I move to an hourly. I look at value. I create a storyline. Are we leaving value? Are we searching for value? Do we have trapped sellers? Do we have trapped buyers? Are they above us? Are they below us? I create a story out of that. Then we look at the 5 minute. What have we done overnight? Who's in control of the market? Where are they stuck? Then we move down into the M1, or you can stay on M5, whatever's comfortable with you, and you trade your storyline. Today, the storyline had to be willing to flip. We talked about it. Like, I'm bullish if we hold previous week's value for a rotation back upside to the naked point of control. If we lose value and we lose 650, I should be bearish for the move back down to previous day value area high. Obviously, I didn't take that. Hopefully, lots of you guys did. You don't need to trade the H1, but it will help you create the narrative. By the way, last week, I subscribed to your newsletter, very clean and clear with actual info, unlike others I would subscribe to. Thanks for your efforts, specifically right now, Alex. Thank you very much, man. I'm glad they helped. I think they've come in pretty clutch. What did I put in the newsletter last week? What were the levels I gave? Let's have a look. It's completely free. The link's down below. So if you're not signed up, you should. So what did I say? Bearish scenarios. As long as 25,900 continues to act heavy, bears have scope for follow through. Sustained downside pressure below 25,700 opens the door for a rotation to 25,580 to 25,500. A break and continued acceptance below that will put 25,350 back in play. The old naked point of control, which has only been defended once this year. Should earnings disappoint, the rotation out of tech persists. Failure under 25,150 will open the door to 25,000. Okay, so let's see what we got. Opened up this week, shorter trading week. Remember, we had to defend 900 and 700. 900, 700, we open up underneath it. Okay, underneath it. Underneath those levels, what did I say? I was looking at 580 to 500 zone to be defended. Okay, we can't reclaim it on Tuesday's push right here, or Sunday. Is it Sunday's push? Sunday's push, we can't reclaim it. And we can't reclaim it on Monday. And we said 350, old naked point of control. 350 right here. Right, this zone here. If we fail 350, rotation will start to take place for 150 to 25,000. So we fail 350 and we trade to under 150 and then 25,000. So we see every bearish sector happen early in the week. Right, we've hit all the targets by Wednesday. Completely free. Won't cost you a thing. Right, market. The reason I'm doing all this now is the market's just gone to sleep because it's just hit, it's tagged its level, and we're now building liquidity in here again. Right, where our cover points were, we're now building liquidity here. First question you should ask: which direction are we trying to go, and how good of a job we're doing to get there? Yeah, well, I reframe that. I would say I ask, what's the momentum? What's the location? Same thing, I guess. Past 2 evals today. Nice, Andrew. How do you subscribe to the newsletter? It should be Nightbot will post it in a minute if it hasn't already. If not, just go into the information underneath and it would be there. It's crazy. I've underperformed every day this week. And I definitely have money dysmorphia. Massively. And I've taken payouts consistently from Take Profit. And I've put in I haven't traded my Take Profit account today, or accounts, because I don't think they've approved the latest one either. Waiting for that to go through. What have I requested this month? January 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000. Why isn't it not put in my payout request from last night? Surely that should be pending. Oh, it is. 6,600 from TPT this month. Love it. They're so good, man. So good. Are the boxes on your chart generated by your indicator, or do I draw them? I draw them. Since we dipped under 15-minute orb. Oh, sorry, I need to read out. We're hovering around bottom 50-minute opening range, both SPY and QQQ. Market needs to decide where to go, but I'm leaning bearish since we dipped under the 15-minute orb. I mean, you're holding the orb for me. That's your orb, right? We've rejected, but we can just rotate this all day. What I don't like is it's both sides need cleaning up. So it's not like we've done this and it's like, okay, our bias is upside. We need to clean this up. Like both sides need cleaning up. It's nasty. It's pretty nasty. Can I be successful at Bookmap? I mean, I can be, but I don't know why I'd want to take my edge away. Find a lot of edge from Bookmap and footprints. Certainly, like I need at least one of those. I wouldn't want to be trading without Bookmap or footprint. I do need at least one of those, but I could probably make do without one of them for sure. But they just give me so much edge in the market that you won't get elsewhere. You can't see where the buyers and sellers are stuck to the tick without some form of data like that. You're not going to see it in candles, but I mean, you don't need to start off that way. I think the first thing you need to learn when you come into the market is understand structure, understand higher time frame narrative, understand how we move, understand the waves, why we move, understand how liquidity is built, understand market conditions, all these things, right? Get used to understanding even like basic EMA principles, like when we're trading down and hugging them. Like, this is like when I get annoyed myself. We go into a sell, we reject flow zones once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Like, all I had to do was sell that. We're now hugging it back the other way. We're buying all the time. We're holding this. We're buying. We let go of this. It probably goes into a sell again. So I would learn basic principles first, which is why I say do the 20-hour course. Well, do everything for free on my YouTube first, or someone else's, but do the 20-hour course first, because you'll learn more than most people will ever learn, and you'll have a good understanding of how the market moves. Then look at order flow once you understand all that. Leos, yeah, I feel you, mate. I've been the same. I've had so many break-even trades, so many. Like, you can laugh. I don't know how many of you were here yesterday. But my students traded it better than me. I left and made toast like today, and then came back and we'd already started the move, and I don't chase. So where is it? Just looking on Discord. There we go. It's very simple. Yeah, there's my students. There's Ben and yesterday. Wait for supply, wait for us to leave the volume, saw it leave, had the point control, shorted all the way down, 100+ point banger. All right, it's what we were calling on stream all of yesterday for. So I've been the same as you this week. Let's look at the horrific trades Alex has missed this week, which he's been there for. Right, nailed this long yesterday. Beautiful. I was in short 3 times. I had to go at this yesterday for this short and this short and this short, and it whipped me out to the tick. And then look, the moment Alex goes, I'm just going to make some toast, and the market was toast. Boom, there it is, all the way back to the outside. Right, so you're not the only one. There's a reason I feel tilty today. It's because that happened yesterday, and the day before I missed a very similar setup for the same thing. I got nudged out 3 times, so we had to go from, it was probably under IB, I would imagine. There's the 3 drives. I can't remember. I think it was like 1, 2, 3, and then I was like, I'm out of bullets, and then guess what? These are trades that can make your month. Right, these are trades that can make your month or your year. You catch 200 points and you size into it. It's, it gets you ahead real quick. Expensive bit of toast. Yes, very, very expensive bit of toast. Can I send a link to the Discord? Discord is only for people who've done the 20-hour course. So if you want to, there's no pressure, but if you want to look at that, you come over to the website. You want to do this trading course here, 20-hour, and it comes free with Discord. No monthly fees, all right? It's 649. It's going up to 699 probably this weekend. I should have done it already, but I just haven't had time. It's going up $50. That's great though, Daryl. There you go. I don't use Bookmap or footprints. I only use market structure, market profile, and volume profile. I've had 3 consistent month screens, shorted 2x in the last 25 minutes for some single prints. There you go. Well, that's also fantastic, mate. You found what works for you. You found what works for you. Can I put the link in chat? It's pinned to the top of chat. If you just scroll to the top of chat, it's pinned there right now. Click on that. And do you know what? I'll just put it here for you. There you go. What's the red box at 660? It's a low volume node, but it's the area at which big sellers came in early. We will probably trade through that now if we trade up there because we've already been up there. But yeah, 660 to 670 here. Right, this block here. It's where we traded aggressively away from. Remember, buyers got stuck at the high days. Buyers are stuck at 89 and above. We can actually call it 84 and above. So this block trades up to 70. Is where the sellers came in this morning. You can see if they re-offer there. If they don't re-offer there, we probably come up and test 88 all the way up to 700, right? ES coming into its New York Open. Alex, if you chose between Footprint and Bookmap, which is your preference? Man, that's a really hard question. I love having a visualization delta profile on the right of my screen. I think it's very, very useful rather than having to watch it on the DOM. But I think seeing aggressive order flow step in is very easy to see on Bookmap. So horses for courses. Probably Footprint. Probably Footprint. I don't do it very good, Michael Caine. So Michael Caine. I'm not good at that. Okay, ES coming back up to its 20-day. So it's bottomed out at the 5 days, trading up to its 20-day, which is exactly the same print as the New York Open. Horses for courses. Yeah, you never heard that? Maybe that's an English saying. Comes from obviously stallion horses going racing. Some are good at jumping, some are good at longer distance, some are good in the wet. Depends on the turf. Horses for courses. So ES trying to break out here. It's trying to get up to its New York Open. Big level, that New York Open. To each their own. Yeah, it's the same thing. Exactly. To each their own. Exactly the same thing. VIX lower day, by the way, folks. VIX low of day. This is also the pre-market, is it? Yeah, it's also a pre-market pivot right here. This red box. It's why the sellers came in there, because we broke down. So anyone who is a buyer became a seller here. This is their chance to get out, break even, as we tag into it. I don't trade gold, so I wouldn't want to give you an opinion on it. I haven't sat and watched its personality too much. I think they're all looking for higher. Silver wants the 100. It wants the 100. There you go. So into this pre-market pivot, low volume node, where these sellers got stuck, all the way up to sort of 68.70 here is where the sellers got stuck. And if we're starting to get through that, you've got previous week close up at 90, and that's where buyers got stuck this morning. Previous week close up here, right here, grey box at 90, and this is where buyers got stuck here and above this morning. I do not like these highs. I would not be surprised if we trade through those highs today. Really would not surprise me. Feels slower today, doesn't it? Is it just me? Feels slower today. How big is this range? Like 100? 120? Yeah, it feels a bit slower. Not a bad thing. So ES banging into that 20-day New York Open. Can't get through it. Can't get through it yet. Well, yeah, maybe that's right, Joe. I think you're probably actually right there, Joe. That's probably exactly what it is. The last few days have been absolutely insane, so today feels slower. All right. How are we doing with the likes? Let me have a look. So getting stuck there again. So they're refresh selling that. ES getting stuck at the New York Open. $644 of you watching. 331 likes. At least half of you have not smashed that like button. So just smash the like button, folks, and then we can do some giveaways. It's really simple. Let's get it up to 450 plus. Smash that like button, and then we're going to do some giveaways on stream. Give you guys some accounts. What do I think it's going to do? Well, it really depends if we can find acceptance above this. If we're willing to find acceptance here, then I think it's got a shot of doing this and coming back inside there, and then it might very well have a forced breakout inside that. If we keep getting stuck here, all right, we're going to have to pay attention to a rotation if it does a false break and a rotation down to here. Under this, you probably see weakness. But, you know, I'd be somewhat careful. This is a scalpy day. This is not a day to sit and hold forever at the moment. All I know right now is we're above previous day's value area high, so we're shifting value up. But we can't get above previous week's value. So we failed, and we haven't done a clean retest, and we haven't taken this out. So I think we're going to just do a dance in here. That's my feeling at the moment. We'll do a dance. Build liquidity. It's a build liquidity kind of day. We haven't taken out either side of initial balance. All right, both IBs have been left completely clean. Same on ES, completely clean. Both sides need repairing in my mind because they don't have enough trap players. Just got here. How do you do today? Any low-hanging fruit winners? Dean, I missed an absolute sitter, mate. I missed a sitter. You're getting here just in time. I've probably just stopped moaning about it, and you're going to make me moan about it again. I'm just playing. We should have been short here. So we were waiting to see if we found acceptance here for the long. And I said, if we fail this, we need to be thinking about short down to previous day value. I think lots of guys got this short. I think I took a little scalp long here short back in. We never hit target, annoyingly. And then I had this attempt long from here, stopped back out, and it went again. And then I rejoined long here, and I just sold on that push. Didn't hold long enough because I didn't trust it. So it's been an okay day. And then I took this short here to here as well. So what I took, I can show you what I took. I think I was long for just a scalp here. And then I was long here. And then I was long again. Scalpy kind of day, very small in here. And then I was short. Under 40 for this move here. And that's all I've done. Small trades, not the biggest trade. 40 pointer. How big's that? I can't even see. 21 points, 40 points, 40 points. 40, 80, 120, 140 points I got out today, basically. But this here was the killer move. And this, if this was clean, we would be in it. Right, if we cleaned this up and did this, we'd be in this sitting in trend long to come out the other side. If we'd clean this up, I'd be long to take this out. Just is what it is. It is what it is. Long to that pullback. Into here. Nice, Tyson. Nice, so 50, 60 points. You might well, like I said, if we can get acceptance over here, where are those buyers caught? The buyers are up at 90s, right? So how we react there is going to be key. But if you can get through 90s, you get through here and get through value, then I think we make a new high of day. All right, if we get through 90s and we get through previous week value, we will make a new high of day in my mind. Flow zone still holding bullish. Okay, we need 25-ish, 27 more likes here, folks, and then we do some giveaways on stream. Nice, Tyson. Another big day for you. Love it. How do I set my anchor VP? Just from the 930. So in here, anchored volume profile, and just click on 930. That's all I do. ES still stuck at that New York Open. Where can I get the order indicator that is above your head? That's Bookmap. It's Bookmap Pro. You can get it on, I think there might be a link down below, but you can get it. It's a paid indicator, paid platform. Alex, when you're looking for trap traders, does price have to move a certain number of points against them before you decide they're trapped? It's a good question, Rob. It's more about where they come in and volume. All right, so let's look at now. All right. If we have volume built out, let's say here, with a spike and lots of buyers caught in here, and then we move under these levels, we can use their pain to rotate down, right? So it's not so much the points, it's the amount of participants that are trapped. So why didn't I love the low of day? I wonder what it will show on here compared to Ninja. It'd be interesting. This is not a good auction at the lows, right? We have buying delta down here at these lows. It's not what I want to see. What I want to see at these lows is a longer wick and this be all red, right? I want to see this all be sellers, because then what does it mean? It means under here, if we've got, remember, this is delta. So whatever this is showing is aggressive players or market players, people hitting the market. So if we see aggressive sellers, but we move up, what does it mean? It means a passive buyer, right, a limit buyer is absorbing to move higher. That is a good end of auction then. What we've seen here is not a good end of auction. That is not a good end of auction. And that's why I felt very uncomfortable about holding the long position. We're now going to scream upside. Remember I said where the buyers are caught up here. They're caught right here. Around these 90s. You see these guys? Right, all these guys got caught. That's their pain point. So if they are either going to get out there, or we're going to trade above and do what? Fill this imbalance. What do we have at high of day? Not a good auction either. There's not many buyers caught up at these high of days, right? This is just strong selling to open the day. Big print selling. So we might well come fill this imbalance, right? It's a huge sell side imbalance. There were so many orders there, we just moved away from it. We might well come and fill it. Would not surprise me. So it's not so much about the points that we move away from. It's more about how they're trapped. How many are trapped? What does it look like? What does it feel like? How's the volume been built out? When we combine that with like this, all right, let's say we just talked about this level here, this node. Let's say that these are all buyers caught and we can see it on the footprint, and we do this, then what are we going to trade for? Well, we can trade down here. The problem is we're counter trend. What's really nice is if we build out bigger and do something like that, then that's where we get the big moves. That's very similar to yesterday. Move that. It's the same thing as yesterday. Is this yesterday? Oh, that's Friday. Hang on, where have I gone? This move here yesterday. Same thing. All right. Even Wyckoff. Spring, sign of strength. Trap players. We knew that there were buyers trapped above 80s yesterday. I can remember saying it. So it's more about aggressively leaving the level and joining for that. If there's a lot of volume built, we will often aggressively leave without looking back. If there's not enough volume built, you'll get a retest. So like here, we offered retests, right? Right? I would imagine if we'd done something like this, we wouldn't retest. We would never come back for that, because there'd be so many trapped. They'll just be forced to cover and cover and cover and cover and cover, and then we'd just keep bidding up. Which is kind of probably what we got on that newsprint yesterday. Okay, so from here, once the news comes out, there's a rush to cover. We're never coming back for this when there's a rush to cover. There's no reason to. Boop, they're all gone. Then we're not coming back to fill that in. Not anytime soon. All right, Tyson, you might look good here, mate. We're coming in for this previous week close level, the 90s. Remember, this is the area we just talked about. I'll show you here. This is where all the buyers are caught. So just exactly what we just talked about, all these buyers. This is where they got caught earlier. So if they are still there, they might become sellers. If they're already out, we have the chance to trade through it. All right. No worries, Rob. Recommended funded accounts for someone who has never had one. What's your trading experience and what's your budget? And then I'll tell you, because it really depends. I've got a video on it. If you just want to try trading futures and get used to them, I would say do Apex, because it's very, very cheap just for the eval. So you just can get used to trading and understanding the market and understanding all this. If you have like traded experience before and you like to set and forget and hold, then I'd look at Lucid or Tradeify, or Funded Next. If you like like if you're consistent, then I'd look at TPT. What Apex account would be good for a first-time user of the platform? Looked at them a lot, chose 150k interested. I'd say start off at 50k, even 25k. You really don't need the big accounts. They're just going to be harder for you to pass. They just require more size, and with the trailing drawdown, it makes it harder and harder. So didn't quite make it to those 90s, just shy of it right now. ES as well, by the way, is at its New York Open. It peaked above it, hasn't been able to trade through it yet. Momentum still bullish right now. Sellers have come in here at 66s, so buyers want to defend these 66s at the moment. Level right here, so we can like kind of flip this right now, right? This needs to be an important level for buyers to bid off. If they can't bid off it, you might see a collapse of it. Time frame I use for my footprint, mainly the 1 minute and the 5 minute. All right, sometimes I'll peak at a 30-minute if I just want to see like big picture, especially overnight and stuff. But mainly the 1 minute and the 5 minute. Gosh, I cannot get my words out. All right, VIX coming right into a big pivot level, guys. So we're trading back into last Friday's kind of levels here. Friday's low would be all the way down at 1530, but we're in the congestion block from Friday and Thursday and Tuesday and maybe Monday the 12th and Friday the 9th. So we're into like quite a big kind of area we're trading into at the moment. So we'll see. If we don't flush through all this, I would expect the VIX to potentially find a bit of a bid. Doesn't have to. I've never traded with FTMO, so I can't tell you. I have no opinion. Still 9 short on the likes, guys. 9 short on the likes. Almost there for a giveaway. Someone repeat the first funded account. The first one I said is if you haven't traded futures before and you just want to learn it, just get a cheap Apex account. All right, because chances are you're going to blow it up, and it means you're only going to spend $20 or something. The cheapest one possible. If you just want to like get used to the platform, get used to the market, do that. If you've traded before and you understand futures and you're looking to like pass and start to scale, I'd look at Lucid, Funded Next, and Tradeify. If you're consistent already and you're moving over to futures and you understand what you're doing, I'd look at TPT. Those are the ones that like my top 5. There's a video on my YouTube where I compare them all and I tell you who they're good for. Just check that out. I'll post it for you. All the questions you're going to ask will be in there because I tell you like their strengths, their weaknesses, who they're good for, what are my favorite and why. But they might not necessarily be, you know, your favorite ones. But these are the ones that I recommend and the reasons why. All right, so you can check this video out here. What videos do I recommend for someone getting into your content and your new strategy? I've got a shelf on my YouTube channel. There's a whole shelf that I've built on the YouTube channel. So if you go to my channel, there should be, let me have a look. Right, if you're brand new, go to my YouTube channel, start here. Right, trading and education, beginner to advanced. There is a ton in here, guys. Right, just start here. Go through all of these. Right, this will give you a lot of edge that you will not find elsewhere. Once you've done that, then I would say move into volume and market profile and start going through these. I'm going to add some more and more stuff into here. Where's that just gone? There it goes. To join the Discord, I need to finish the full lessons in the course. I mean, you don't have to. I'd advise that you go through it, but if you go towards the end of the course, there's a module there. Who am I talking to here? Sam. There's a module that says like Discord, and it tells you what to email and where to email. If you just shoot me an email, I'll add you to the Discord straight away. But the only reason I put it at the end is so that you understand what everyone's talking about in the Discord. But if you want to be added early, we can do that. Thanks, Bradley. Appreciate it. I appreciate any of the support. Yeah, I don't really talk about them much unless you guys ask, but you'll see all the links down below. All the firms that I work with. Code FCT for most of them. Other than Take Profit Trader, you can use code FlowZone over there. All right, market's still holding this level. We've got like 25 minutes left till lunch. You're welcome, Dominic. Glad it's helped. Glad it's helped. On the 5-minute footprint, would you now say buyers are trapped? Yes, but we're still supporting the bid. Yeah, so we have definitely over this level here from 71 up to here, we have buyers caught. But we're not breaking down yet, are we? So we have to look left, all right? This was the bid support. Right, this was kind of the over-under, these kind of levels here. So we're still holding. So like, yes, there's buyers caught here, but we need to do this to trade away from it. Does that make sense? Right, so we're still, structure can still be positive here. Definitely there are some caught up there. There's no doubt about it. But if we come to this, look at how key this pivot is. So what we're saying right now is above here, buyers are caught, but we need to let go of low volume node of this shelf and trade away from it. We're not trading away from it yet. You don't want to like jump the gun. Look at the flow zones. We're supporting the bid, right? We're supporting the bid. You've got to also remember the difference between this and like some of the trades we took earlier is we've now built structure. When we came up here earlier and I shorted this for the move down, we were a straight squeeze up and we didn't have much structure. Look at the difference now. Dum 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 dum. They've got structure to bid off. Right? So if we come down into here and they keep bidding, they can complete the rotation. You need to see it start to lose some of these. So structure is important. The difference between that and like maybe yesterday and the day before, we lacked structure, right? Some of these amazing shorts. This is something really important for you guys to understand. This, where is the structure in here? No structure, right? So when we trap buyers up here and we leave it, well, where are we going to come to? Well, at the very minimum here. And if we lose that, all the way back down. Right? Because we didn't build structure. Think about it like building foundations of a house. Right? If we'd done this, like nice pullback, reclaimed, pullback, reclaimed, right? Then this here, this flush probably would have only come to there. Right? And maybe they get stuck again and maybe it comes to here. And it would not be this straight move down. Structure matters. Like the building blocks of the market matter. Same here. This was the last piece of structure we had. Squeeze up, trap buyers, fail, down to that structure. We've literally held that since. If you zoom out, we've held that the whole time since. In fact, we're building higher highs here. I have 5 top set accounts right now and I'm planning to buy 5 more. Which do you recommend? They don't have intraday trail down. Lucid. If you are if you trade with Top Step, the closest accounts you are going to get to that rule-based wise are Lucid accounts. Either of them. I've just done a video on that. And you can use code FCT. I think it gets you 40% off right now. Lucid are the closest ones right now, I'd probably say. And cheapest. Cheapest for what you want, that is. Scott, that's it for me. Green on a few scalps on the way up on MES. Thank you, Alex, for your contribution and support. Love you, brother. Love to you as well, bud. Hope you're good. Do I trade noon sessions? Not on YouTube. Sometimes I trade it in Discord. VPOC shifted up. Yeah, it has. On TradingView, it has. Actually, for me on Tick Data, It's still at 620. So for me, it's still down here. It's right at this view up. That tune sounded like a shark. I have to remember it. Sharks around, ready to bait whoever gets trapped. Yeah, pretty much. You're welcome, Larry. What's the best prop firm for daily payouts? TPT. Take Profit Trader. You can use code FlowZone there. 40% off, no activation fee. You can have 5 accounts with them and you can take daily payouts. That is the best one for daily payouts, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Are you looking for a trade? I'm pretty much done, to be honest, my friend. I didn't execute super well, missing this morning. We had like what, one trade there, and then had to join late there because I didn't like that, and then that short down, and I'm not in this now. And it's too late for me to long now at this point, and we're not losing structure for me to short. So, you know, until I see something like this, there's nothing really for me to do, and it's very possible we won't see that, and we continue to rotate. So I just have to be willing now to be like, okay, well, I've made my money. It's not the best day. There's a new opportunity this afternoon or tomorrow. So I'm just waiting at the moment. Yeah, how are we doing on the likes? Oh, we got there on the likes, right? We're going to do some giveaways. Don't worry, folks. How do you join the Discord? Willie, the only way to join the Discord, my friend, is to do the 20-hour course, right? The beginner to advanced course. I know that probably really annoys people and upsets them, but it's for good reason. It's for good reason. There is no monthly fee for it. The reason is I want everyone in Discord trading the same way. Those who are in chat right now will tell you our Discord is a very positive, helpful environment. Everyone's looking after each other. Everyone's trading in the same direction. Everyone can support each other, answer questions because they all understand what we're looking at and trading. When you have open Discords, which are free or a monthly fee, right, which will be way more than what would come to way more than what I charge anyway, you will find traders trading in different directions, and you will suddenly start to get over influence from what you want to do. So that's the reason, right? That's the reason. But if you do the 20-hour course, it's completely free for life. Do I do one-on-ones? I don't do one-on-ones. I just simply don't have the time, but we do group lessons. I do actually want to do a group lesson this week with everyone. Aren't TPT payouts capped? The payouts are capped at 10k per account, but then they move you to a live with the same rules, so it makes no difference. My trading is not consistent. Great day yesterday, very bad day today. How do I get more consistent? You need to define rules and understand why you won yesterday and why you lost, and then you need to do more of what you're good at and less of what you're bad at. Do I look at structure on a 5-minute? Yeah, I mean, I'm always looking at it on. So I have this chart up on my others just below. Right, so this is my 5-minute chart. All right. So I do pay attention to it. I pay attention to everything. Where's the course? Flowzonetrader.com. Flowzonetrader.com. I'll post it for you again. Let me post the exact link so you make sure you do the right one. It's here. Okay. No, it's all right. It's all right. I just posted it for you. What are the column settings you have on my Bookmap? You mean on the DOM? Price, delta, bid, ask, volume profile sell, volume profile buy. I don't know why that's squeezed in. It shouldn't be squeezed in. What's going on there? And session volume profile. That's all I care about. The main one is the volume profile delta that I care about. Takes some time to get used to Ninja. It does, but it's well worth it once you're used to it. I have a tendency to get in late to you. Do you? Maybe do you have any suggestions to improve my entry? Very hard for me to say without looking at it, but how late are we talking? All right. Are we talking that you're buying like up here? What are we talking about? If you're buying dips on flow zones, okay, how to prevent getting in late? Flow zones, or use a 21 EMA, or whatever you want. You want to be buying when we're positively moving towards the target as close to those EMAs as possible, right? Based on structure, based on EMAs. You don't want to be selling down here, do you? You want to be selling near the flow zones, near the flow zones. You don't want to be buying up here, do you? I sold up there, remember? You want to be buying near the flow zones, near the flow zones, near the flow zones, near the flow zones. Right? So just you can use a 21, make it really simple. Right? You want to be buying near a 21. You do not want to be buying overextended moves. That will stop you getting in late. That'll be the first thing to look at. When do I think the market would start behaving normal again? I think this is the new normal now. I think this is the new normal. How often do I do group lessons? I want to do it every 2 weeks, if not weekly. I want to do it at least every 2 weeks, if not weekly. So JJ, what I'd say to that, JJ says, is weakness is overthinking and hesitating, missing momentum. Try and then build a formula, a way of getting into trades where you just stick to that formula. So as no matter what, if your criteria is there, you take the trade, regardless of the outcome, regardless of what you think. If the criteria is there, you take the trade. I did a video on that recently as well. Yeah, so if your criteria is, let's say dailies in breakout to upside, right? Let's say dailies in breakout to upside, bullish. Let's say 21's over the 200 on whatever time frame you're trading on, bullish. Let's say like volumes, we're moving value higher, bullish. Then you're looking for pullbacks to get long into. You're not looking to fade it, right? So you create that. That's just an example. You create something to help you stick to that narrative. Yeah, ES looks like it's going to take out, go to the higher day. We just got to still respect these levels. Remember, the 90s is where the buyers keep getting stuck. I've said it over and over again. The 90s, you can see it right here, is where these buyers have been getting stuck. That is from over here this morning. Look at all these participants here, 34, 34, 77, and that's just delta based, right? We've got outlying delta there. If we get back above the 700s, as long as it's not a fake out, then there's a chance to go high day. But right now, where those buyers got stuck is acting as some form of supply. Which prop firm do you recommend if you want to copy 20 accounts other than Apex and TPT? Well, Apex is the only one that offer 20 accounts. But you mean like just other prop firms? They're my 5 favorite prop firms are really simple. Apex, TPT, Lucid, Tradeify, and Funded Next. Not in that order, but those are the 5. That's who I advise you trade with. So tapping into these 90s, they've got to get through these 90s and 700s. And if they do that, then we can think about that higher day. Look at this imbalance up here, folks. All right, this, we barely traded here. This was the open print. All right, there was no volume put in here. None. It's a huge imbalance. It's a huge imbalance, right? So someone asked, what, like, are they stuck there? And we said yes. And I said, but structure's still holding. You can see they're stuck again, but structure's still holding. Until you see this move, you don't want to front run stuff. People get really excited about price coming into a level, but it's like, unless we react at that level, there's nothing to get excited about. That's footprint, John. That's footprint. So here we go. 90s again, testing 90s again. Someone's now trying to bid 90 for the squeeze up to 700 and 705. So they are trying to bid 90 for that squeeze up to 700 and 705. ES is trying to get up to its IB high here. We are right at the 20-day as well, folks. This is the other thing. Like, these are rotations for anyone that's done the course. 5-day, 20-day. Look at that rotation. SMAs don't matter, they said. Yeah, good one. What determines the blue and red candles? Oh, in this chart, the flow zones. Are we above or below flow zones? So it's momentum. So when they're green, we have bullish momentum. When they're red, we have bearish momentum. Right? When they're red inside, bearish momentum. When they're green, bullish momentum. Can I do a dive into ES? You mean just like now? Look at ES. You're just coming for IB high. It's actually cleaner. Look at this. Right? Huge sell, resell, failing to make a new low. What's this? Inverted head and shoulders, breakout, pullback, holds the pivot, grind back up. Target is this high. It might need a flush before it does it. It might be a small flush. It might need to trap in some more sellers if it's going to do it. This is very steep. It might need to do something like this before it's going to do it. We'll see. But it's the same story. It's just trying to get it to that high. Right. We're pretty much there, folks. We're pretty much there. In the course, Aaron, or there might be some videos on it. I can't remember. Do I have a code for Tradeify? Yep, FZT. FZT for Tradeify. So here's previous week value now. So this is the key level. Can we find acceptance through this? We're through the 90s. We're testing the 700s. Watching ES come up to higher day as well. So we have the chance to squeeze if we can get through this to those sort of single print imbalances. Volume indicator on the left. Where are you looking on the left? I don't have volume on the left. On the right, do you mean? Where do you mean, Ab? This is, if you mean this is anchored volume profile. Anchored volume profile. Anchored to 930. All right, and I just change it here. Placement right. Okay, giveaway time. We'll give away one free Apex account. Type FCT in chat. I'll give you guys a minute to do that. While you do that, I'm just going to use the bathroom and I'm going to be right back. And then we'll do the giveaway as soon as I'm back. All right, so just give you a minute to do it. All right, still stuck. Still stuck. You might see that pullback we talked about. Still the same level as being key here. Yes, quite all right. Thank you, Miguel. If you spam, you'll be automatically deleted. Okay, putting this winner. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Evan Vitorino. Don't know how to say that. Vitoriano. Great name. Evan, are you here, Evan? Let me know you're here. Give Evan a minute to reply. Still holding that blue box. You can see that low vol node still holding up. So this might be this little dip and rip that we talked about. That's me. Hey, nice. Okay, Evan, what I want you to do is email me, please. info@flowzonetrader.com. Send me a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube so I know it's you. I'm making a note of you now, and I will sort you out with a free Apex account. All right, free Apex account coming your way. Congratulations. Making a note now. Here we go. 2 minutes to lunch here, folks. Just be careful. He just got banned. It's okay. I can see him. It's all right. It's just because he's typing in caps. All right, folks. We'll do one more giveaway. We're going to give away a beginner course. All right, just the 2-hour course. So this is great if you've never traded before, if you don't understand markets at all, if you're a complete newbie. Type course in chat. It's just the beginner course, not the beginner to advanced. It's an introduction to trading. So just type course in chat once. Let you guys do that. I'll give you a minute. So back to this blue box again, point of control shifted up. If they start losing these nodes, then, again, it's possible that they reflush back down here. I would just be careful of a trap happening under this. Like if they've got unfinished business, I'd be careful of that kind of thing happening there today now. So the type of thing they do, if they want to come higher, I know that we've just rejected value, but if they want to get acceptance, the type of thing they do is to trap under here and reclaim, so they have short fuel to go higher. If we see strong momentum away, though, there'll be a flush back down towards the VWAP. Yeah, I'm done for the day no matter what as we come into lunch, or at least for the morning session. I'll give you guys a couple more minutes to do this giveaway. Well, you're in timeout. I can see you. I can see you though, Evan. Don't worry. Don't worry about it. Make sure I've got this set up for you guys. right, let's pull this winner. Brenda, is that right? Brenda Tsang, 9894. Are you here, Brenda? So here we go. It might be this little trap we just talked about. Seen it too many times. Too many flipping times. Nice, Brenda. All right, just same thing from you. Can you just shoot me an email? Send me an email, info@flowzonetrader.com. I've made a copy of your name. Just send a screenshot of you logged into your YouTube, so just so I know it's you. That's all you've got to do. All you've got to do. Yeah, so I would say there's potential for this trap to play out here now. These are the kind of things I look for when they're trying to get to highs. They do these like little sweeps and then they reclaim. We just talked about this. We literally just talked about it. If they hold this, then you know that they're going to come for this up here. If they stay heavy under here on a rejection, then you're watching VWAP and POC down here. But that is probably it for me. I'm going to have to take my dog out for a walk. How do I interpret footprint for the trap that just happened? I didn't even watch it, to be honest, but there you go. There you go. So you tell me, how do you interpret this? You guys have been with me long enough. What has happened under there? What has happened under the 60 level? The big level that we had. The box, right? The 60. What's happened under 60? Sellers are stuck. There you go. You guys are clever, right? So this is sellers marketing in. This isn't passive selling. This is aggressive selling, marketing in. But where are we going? We're going up. So what does that mean? That means some limit buyer, a limit buyer or a passive buyer is absorbing all of this because he wants to complete the rotation. All right. So these are the kind of things that you will just get used to seeing over and over again. I didn't even need to see that. Like I called it to you. It's likely to happen here because I've been in this game long enough. It doesn't have to happen, but normally if there's a target above that they want to get to and they're running out of steam, there's only one way that they're going to get there, and it's by trapping in more shorts. If they pile in now and they've got their stop there, guess what happens when we get there? You get that push, right? So exactly, it's absorption. If we trade back under that though, that's where you might see this fade into here. No worries, Bradley. All right, folks, that's me done. I'm going to get out of here, walk my dog. Those in Discord, I will see you later. I see some of you just bought the course, so I'm looking forward to working with all you new lot who just bought the course. Have a safe trading day. I don't think we've got any news this afternoon. Let me just check on Financial Juice. You're good for the rest of the day. But yeah, those of you who are going to trade overnight, please, 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 please be aware of what we're going to have overnight. So what time's this? Starts at sort of 4:30 my time, 5, 6. So 7:30, you've got PMI in Japan. 10:30 Eastern time, you've got the start of like the Bank of Japan rate decisions. It can affect the market. If they go hiking again, we're going to get carry trades. You might get more unwind. So we're just going to have to see, unless it's already been baked in. But we will see. All I'm saying is please be careful. Don't be forcing your way into positions, all right? Big love to you all, and see you tomorrow morning. Let's close out this week strong. Take care, stay safe, use hard stops. Peace and love.